Hey, what's up guys, this is Jawad and I brought another video. This video is about VLAN, which is called virtual LAN, virtual local area network. So as you can see on my screen, I have some of the theory, so we can go through this theory, and then after theory we will perform a basic lab of VLAN. From there then we will perform a multi-switch VLAN using a trunking port, and then I will apply the VLAN lab onto the access points. So today we are going to talk about only the VLAN basics. So the first thing is VLAN stands for virtual local area network. The second thing is VLAN combines a set of network ports on switching devices into a single broadcast domain. In other words, dividing large broadcast domain into a smaller one. Let's suppose you have a company and your company cannot afford a very what it is called two switches. You have a small business at home and you wanted to divide one switch into two different segments. Then you can virtually separate two segment, and you can create two segment for a one physical switch, and then you can broadcast the packets on the same VLAN, so the other VLAN would not see those packets. So let me see if I can show you on the paint. Like, let's suppose this is a pen. Let's suppose if I would say there's a switch, sorry my drawing is not that good, and you wanted to divide this switch between two VLANs. Let's suppose this is the dividing part, and this is a VLAN 1, this is a VLAN 2. You wanted to assign it to your HR department, this one is going to your marketing department. Let's suppose your switch has 24 ports and you wanted to give 10 ports or 5 PCs to one person, one department, and then the 5 PCs to the other department. Instead of buying two switches and then making those configuration, you can assign a VLANs, and then the marketing department would not be able to talk to this HR department. You can separate both department. This is how you can do it. And then mostly used over Ethernet network, and then in one physical switch we can create multiple VLAN. We can create a multiple, maybe 2, 3, 4, which connect to a different network. We can run a communication between two VLANs. Let's suppose you wanted to communicate between two VLAN, you can do that, which is called inter VLAN. And then the VLAN is actually a layer 2 security, so it applies on layer 2, which enhance the security too. Like, let's suppose if you put a security on layer 2 and then you apply a router at layer 3 and then you assign a security again. So let's suppose someone broke into your router, into your main piece, still there would be a security on your virtual LANs. And the next thing is, by default the virtual LAN 1 is a by default. The number 1 is a default VLAN. When you buy a switch, the new switch by default has a VLAN which is called virtual LAN, and then it is also known as a management LAN. And then you can create 2 to 1000 VLAN. Why it says 2? Because let's suppose if you wanted to use those two ports as a trunking, I mean you wanted to connect those ports to another switch, that's why it is called you can assign from 2 to 1000 VLANs. So let's get to the second slide. So this is our VLAN basic lab. Actually I'm going to perform this lab in front of you, and we have, if we look in this right corner, I have created under the packet tracer the same lab, and I know everyone knows how to assign these IPs on the computer. Just go there and just assign the IP. So I assign the IP 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 computers, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 computers. Assign the IP, and the way how I link those computers, maybe I would like to show you that thing here. So I disconnected. All you need to do, get this cable connected on the Ethernet 0 and then on the switch, because the 5 is available. If you look after 5 it says 11 because I already connected the rest of all the ports to the computer. So you are going to select this 5 and then you are good to go. So if you look over here, I cannot show you, it says FA0/10, FA0/1 to 5, FA0/1 to 5 has been assigned. Let me see, this one is 5, has been assigned to, if you wanted to see 1, just take it. Actually they are going behind to each other, that's why you can't see them really, but if you take it, it's a 2, so you can, and the last one is 5. Okay, so this is how you are going to prepare the lab, and then we will go to the router on the switch and we will perform the rest of configuration. Okay guys, now we already assigned the IP address to all of our computers as well as all of our devices. So now this is the time to check the ping. If the devices are talking to each other, we will go into the command prompt, and over here we are gonna write down the same command. Let's suppose we wanted to ping the last PC, which is a PC9, and yes, we are receiving the ping from PC9, and we can check another PC. Let's suppose go to this PC and type in ping and 192.9. yes, so the devices, computer, they are talking to each other. So now we don't want them to talk to each other. We don't want the VLAN 10, which is actually a HR department, talks to our marketing department. So what we are gonna do, we will go to our switch and we will perform some configuration on the switch. So we will go on the switch, we will go enable config T, and then we are going to IT range. So int range mean interface, and what we were doing before, we were saying interram VLAN 1 or 10. This is what we were doing before, but this time we are going to the specific interface. We are going to make a VLAN. We are going to range of the ports. Let's suppose if there are 10 ports, we can go from port 1 to 5 and then 5 to 10 or 6 to 10. So what we are going to do, we are going to write down FA01/5, and we need to say word range FA01/05 slash FA 0/ and then we are gonna say 1 to 5. This is the range. This is how we define the, sorry, slash is not there, /1 to 5. So we are gonna say on interface 0 from port 1 to 5. Here we are in the range. Now if you look over here, you will see instead of just interface is saying we are in the range, and we are going to type in switch port mode access, and from there the next command we are gonna say switch port access VLAN 10. So if you create a VLAN, yes, so creating a VLAN, so we have created a VLAN 10 by switch port access VLAN 10. The first what we did, we activate our mode, which is a access mode, and then from there we assign the VLAN 10 to that access mode. So we are on the range. So if we look over here, we read here, it says the access VLAN does not exist, creating a VLAN 10, because by default the VLAN has only VLAN 1, which is a management VLAN. And then we are going to perform the same type of configuration on the other switch, but before we do that, I don't know if this is gonna work, but I need to go back and maybe I should say VLAN 10 is already under the VLAN 10, and I should name HR. what I did, I provided a name to the HR department, because from range 1 to range 5 all the ports we are going to assign to HR department. Now we are going to assign from port 6 to port 10 to our marketing department. So we will go back to the same switch, and I'm going out from here, and I can I can create a VLAN on over here. I can call it VLAN 20. Here you go, I created VLAN, and then I can name it marketing. Here you go, that's it. And then I can exit from the VLAN, and then from there I can say interface range f/6 to 10. Oh sorry, 0 is missing. FA0/6 to 10, and then we are under the range now, and in this range we are going to assign the same thing. We are going to say switch port mode access, and then we are gonna say switch port access VLAN 20. We are going to say VLAN 20. So he is going to look for the VLAN 20. If the VLAN does not exist, it's going to create, but we already created the VLAN 20, so it should not say that. See, we did not see the same command we saw over here on this one, because at that time we had not created the VLAN 10, but now this time we have created the VLAN 10. Already we have created it. So we are gonna say exit, and we are gonna say exit again. So you can always check by saying show VLAN brief. So over here we are gonna see what's going on, I mean how the VLAN is working. So VLAN ports, we have brief status, it says active, and if we look at those VLAN ports, you are gonna see some of the ports they have been assigned to HR department, and then some of the ports from 6 to 9 have been assigned to the marketing department. And then just these are some information. You need that information in our next lectures. So let's see if we can ping from PC1. Here we already did those pings, and then to PC10 we should not be able to ping because this is a separate VLAN now. So this is how you can create the basic VLAN, and this is how you can create simple VLANs, and then you can assign ports to those VLANs. And then so you can, let's suppose you can assign the resources to separate VLAN. Like let's suppose you can put to maybe printer, maybe to different services, and you don't want the marketing people access the same service even though you are using the same switch. Then you can assign these VLAN. These VLANs are really good. It saves your resources, more efficient. They provide you more security over the network and all these things. So this is the lecture for today. The next slide is about, I'm going to describe on the next slide, I'm going to talk about the multi-switch VLAN. So this is the lecture for today. Please subscribe my channel and stay connected. Have a nice one. Bye bye.